What's up, everybody? This is Buck. Welcome out to Tattoos in Review. Today, we're in Media, PA at the Baltimore Ave Tattoo Shop. We're gonna sit in with Mark Madgin. He's been tattooing for 6 years. He's tattooed here in Philly, Media, and a couple other different places. Let's go inside and let's get in it. Hey Mark, thanks for doing this for me today, man. I really appreciate it. I know you're busy. We're here at Baltimore Tattoos in Media, PA. Mark, how long you been tattooing for?
I've been tattooing for about 5.5 years. I started my first apprenticeship about 10 years ago. It was really difficult. I loved doing it, but it was hard to find a work-life, home, balance, kids, and I ended up stopping doing it. I started scratching out of my house, and I fucked some tattoos up. And I was like, I have to redo this. So I ended up going to Northern Liberty Tattoo and pretty much redoing my whole apprenticeship.
How long was your apprenticeship for?
And there was 3.
You know, you're already starting to talk about your journey of becoming a tattoo artist. What really inspired you to become a tattoo artist?
The artwork behind it all. I originally went to art school, and I loved drawing from the time I could hold a pencil. And I pretty much pushed it in that direction. And I had life happen. I couldn't pursue it when I was younger, so I got into it when I was older.
How old were you when you started your apprenticeship?
I was, the second one, I was in my 30s.
I mean, I'm going to assume that's like a late start, right?
It was really late, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you said you've been tattooing for about 5 years. In those 5 years, have you really kind of noticed any type of change in the industry?
Yes. I've noticed, just how much more advanced it's gotten just in them 5 years. Just like traditional tattooing from using coil over to rotary, just hand drawing stuff over tablets, stuff like that. Just the technology's gotten so much more advanced.
Has the tablet thing really kind of popped in the past couple years?
I believe in the last few years, a tablet makes life so much easier. You lose that art balance versus a tablet. It gives you like a crutch.
So it actually makes it easier.
It's easier, yeah.
So Mark, tell me about your favorite style of tattooing and why.
I like black and gray. It's just more of my style, the way I draw and pretty much make all my tattoos black and gray. I do like traditional. Can't go wrong with traditional. Holds the test of time.
How do you approach creating like a unique design for a client? Can you kind of walk us through that process?
Yeah, normally, I have a consultation with the person. They'll send me references of different ideas and stuff that they like. We kind of snowball ideas back and forth between each other, and then I'll draw it up. I'll try to put it as much as I can into it without making it over cluttered, depending on how many ideas they have or what the tattoo is.
Now, as far as your tattoos, do you charge by the hour? Do you charge by the piece?
I base it, you're usually around hourly, but if it's something cool and it's, I know I can do it faster, then I'll do it by the piece.
What's the longest tattoo session you've done at this point?
6 hours.
At that point, were you ready to tap
I'm ready to tap. Usually 4 is my limit with my back hurting and starting to get achy.
Now here at the shop, obviously you take cash, but you guys take credit card, Venmo, anything like that?
It depends on the artist. Usually Venmo, stuff like that works, but always prefer cash.
Right, cash is king.
Yep.
Can you share a particularly challenging tattoo you worked on and how you kind of overcame the difficulties with the client or maybe the difficulties with yourself?
Yeah, it was actually during my apprenticeship. I was a nervous wreck, still new at it, and it was actually, I tattooed one of the homeless guys that hung outside the shop. It wasn't that picky, but he wanted a bunch of different bands and stuff. So I ended up working on it, but it was just nerve-wracking, just starting out in the game, seeing somebody I see every day. That's just pretty much that part of it.
So do you have an Instagram page or an email?
I do. My Instagram is wolfman_tattoos. My email is madgin@gmail.
Now, if somebody were to try to get in touch with you, what's the best way for them to get a hold of you to get a tattoo?
Normally I do mostly everything through Instagram, but if not, you can get a hold of me by emailing me.
Can you tell us about any like memorable or exciting tattoo projects that you worked on?
I actually just did one that was actually really good. It's, I got to tattoo my cousin, who I haven't seen in years. So it kind of brought us back together. We message each other now. I got to hang out with family. That was one of my most memorable ones so far.
That's awesome, man. So how do you stay up to date with like the latest techniques or styles?
I still am open to, I watch YouTube videos. I still talk to a bunch of different artists, around here where, I originally did my apprenticeships, and kind of just, hey, try this, try that, and see what works and still keep going.
Have you ever done any tattoo conventions?
I have. I've done the Philly one, I've done that almost every year at the Baltimore convention.
What do you think of those?
I love them. A little fast paced after you get past making stencils there, because the lines are usually forever. It's golden. You meet so many people. It's a great networking and just hanging around different artists.
I think it's cool to see the different styles.
It is.
Between traditional, non-traditional, you know, people that I actually saw this year at the Philly one, hand poke.
Okay.
That lady was here, I guess, for the second year in a row.
Yeah, it's nice seeing, like, especially West Coast artists, because they have a whole different style of tattooing. You get to see like that whole cholo and all that style, and it's really amazing.
So how do you handle client expectations and ensure that they're satisfied with their final tattoo?
You just keep it real with them. Tell them what the expectations are. Like, you know, a lot of the stuff you see online, you know, as far as references they'll send over are Photoshop, edited. Realistically, like, tattoos age, a heal. You just got to be upfront with them.
Have you noticed a trend on Instagram of the photo retouching and the highlighting, enhancing?
Yes, that drives me crazy. Because you're setting unrealistic expectations, you know?
Right.
You're taking something that's Photoshopped and trying to put on the skin. It's never going to look like it. As
far as healing for a tattoo, what advice do you have? Are you a Sanoderm type? Are you a Aquaphor type?
I'm an Aquaphor. I do, you know, Aquaphor just enough to rub into the skin a couple times a day. Main thing is keep it clean.
Do you have any other advice to either heal or keep maintaining your tattoo?
Yeah, stay out of the sun. And, you know, tanning beds and stuff like that, just to hold it for as long as possible.
SPF 1000.
Yep.
What advice would you give to someone interested in pursuing a career in tattooing?
If you really, truly want it, follow it. It's a rough industry at first, but once you get past the hurdles, you know, it's very rewarding. It's not even about a job. It becomes your life. It consumes you. You gotta love it.
So in your short time of tattooing, have you had the opportunity to tattoo anybody famous?
I have not. Nobody famous. I mean, we had a couple Eagle players come in. I've met them, but nobody famous yet.
Do you have any crazy stories that you want to, like, maybe throw at us that, you know, during your time at tattoo or even during your apprenticeship?
Nothing really off the wall. Just like I said, I tattooed the homeless guy.
Yeah.
And he still smelled better than some of the clients that would come in. But other than that, nothing too far or crazy. So
do you have a favorite tattoo that you've done at this point? If so, is it on your Instagram page? Like, we could take a look at it?
Yeah, I do. I like the one I just did with the owls. Did an owl and some flowers in it. I like really doing nature-y flowers and stuff like that. It's probably the last one I did.
So before we wrap this up, Mark, I appreciate your time. Thank you for doing this for me. Do you have any questions or do you have anything you want to throw at us that maybe I didn't bring up?
No, this has been, you know, an experience. It's nice to meet you and doing this. It's something different for me.
Right on, man. I appreciate it, dude. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Hey guys, if you like this video, click on the next one here.